Uh-oh. Looks like I'm running out of time. Nope. Yeah, gonna have to turn that down. Hold on. Okay, I can beat this level in this time. Not even a problem. But, oh. Okay. Why does it feel laggy? Hold on. This feels so laggy. Hold on. Oh, what the hell? Okay, alright. I'm gonna need to figure that out. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Okay, yeah. So, okay, gonna have to figure out why. Why it feels so laggy on the TV. Okay. See, on Streamlabs it looks fine. But on the TV, ugh. Alright, maybe I try to replug some things in. Unplug and replug. Otherwise, I guess I'll just play by Streamlabs. Should not be this laggy. See some weird stuff in a sec. Alright, does that fix it? Nope. Huh. Maybe it's just because I have two signals running through. Maybe? Maybe that'll fix it? No, that didn't seem to work. You know what? Maybe if we cut out the middle bit here. Does that work? No? Yeah, that's gonna be an issue. How do I want to do this? So I have a few options then. I could just play through Streamlabs, which would be kind of awkward. I mean, I guess that's not too much. It's noticeable. That's a noticeable delay. Oh, it almost feels better now. Hold on. Let's just try to make it through my first level here. All right, so let's. Oh, that is quite the delay. I mean, luckily for me, my levels aren't designed to be hard. But... playing with this sort of lag. Oof. Okay. Didn't get it. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of adjusting to it, but... Ooh, playing at this angle is kind of effing with me. Might need to move stuff around. Well, this would probably be a good time. Oh yeah, that is really fucking with me. The scrolling. Oh, on such a big TV. Ooh. Such a big TV, so close, it's such a weird angle. Can I... getting kind of motion sick here. Okay, we beat the level, but it's certainly not ideal, our situation here. How do I want to do this? How do I want to do this? It appears that someone's enjoying themselves. Hello. Hi there. I do see that. I don't have chat on screen, but I do see you there. Worst player in the presumably world. Oh, nice to see you. I'm kind of sorting out right now. Before I get into things, I'm kind of sorting out how I want to set this up, because my setup here, because I am still... This is the first time I've actually streamed a console game, so I'm figuring that out. Yeah, so... I'm gonna step away from the mic for a sec, just because I need to adjust the TV, I think. See. Sus, you say. Sus, you say. I mean, is it sus? I don't know. Maybe it's sus. Alright, that didn't really seem to fix the problem at all. Alright, how to do this? Actually, I wonder if this will work. Hold on. Nothing will change on your end, but on my my end, I have an idea. Ready. That. Okay, so I'm gonna have to unplug this real quick. Hit. That should switch us over to... Oh, but then... Shoot. Then you won't be able to see the... oh, wait, hold on. No, it's not gonna work. I mean, it could work, but it's not really. Okay, you know what? Let's just go with what we were doing before. We'll just play through Streamlabs. I'll just try to make the window as big as I can here for myself. Pop this out. It's not up here, so... Okay, well, whatever. I'll just play through the window. Okay, so... yeah, what we're doing here is I am trying to... I'm just reviewing the levels I've made so far. Because I was thinking about working on levels again. And that's what I am, that's what I'm thinking to do, you know. I've been playing this game and just playing levels, other people's levels, and man, even Streamlabs is a little bit delayed. But I've been playing other people's levels and trying to beat those, and it just kind of got me in the mood to make more of my own levels. So, but first, I want to see what I've got first, because I am trying to make a super world. I've got one world of it done and uploaded. A few more levels that I haven't uploaded yet. So, just we're gonna try and work on stuff. That's what we're doing. Okay, so that was World 1 Run, which is just a play on the term 1-1, you know. And this one is 1 Slide, which is not a play on 1-2 or anything. It's just 1 Slide. So it is. Oh shit. I need to not play by the TV. Yeah, I still need to. Man, I need to figure out a better setup for when I stream console games, because this is not working. I don't know why it's not working, because it works fine when I record. But for some reason, streaming, I just can't get it to... It's really laggy, and I don't know why. I might try restarting Streamlabs, see if that helps. But I don't know if it will. Cool. Cool. Oh, almost. Actually, the easiest way to do this is to hit that. Oh, messed it up. Yeah, I am getting just a hint of lag on Streamlabs. Just chilling indeed. Alright. Starting to think you're not a real person, worst player in the world. But thank you. Thank you for the GG. I guess that was a GG. Why hold on a sec. I didn't even beat the level yet, so you couldn't be GGing. Or maybe you are. I don't know. Frankly, what you're putting in chat doesn't seem like how a real person talks. Anyway. Sorry, I don't mean to imply that you're sus, but... You know, it's just, I don't, it just might be true. You know, it just might be true. Just a little bit sus. Also, my mic is right in front of the screen, which is probably not a good idea. Also, why am I trying to play with the TV again? It's because I'm used to it, that's why. Yep, there's that little bit of delay there. It's really kind of bugging me. You better eat melon. I'm not sure what that means. Not sure at all. Could you elaborate there, worst player? Yeah. I'm not sure what you mean by better eat melon. You know what, we'll go the hard way. Ow. It's fine. Yeah, this level, not terribly difficult. But it is quite... I don't know, it's a water level. What do you want from me? There's really not much I can... Like, I wanted to make a water level because I just wanted to teach people how to swim, basically. But water levels are kind of inherently not that fun. It's very hard to make a good water level, I think. Moving on. And I just really wish I could do something about this lag. Just really, really wish. You know? Would be nice. Would be nice. Alright. Trying to play by the TV again. That was my mistake. I should have taken one. But, alright. I am not... I should say, I'm not exploring all of these levels. Or, like, the entirety of each level. Because I just kind of want to... I just kind of want to remind myself of what's going on here. You know? Okay. Ow. Yeah, well, okay. I guess that works. Would have preferred to keep my shroom there. But I think there's another one here. But if I had kept my shroom, that would have been a flower instead, so. That would be nice. Okay, right. That's just coins. Right, and this part where it gets a little harder. Not like super hard, but a little bit harder. I messed up. This is awkward. Okay, hold on. Damn it. Gonna give another mushroom right here because I wanna... I don't really wanna... I'm not trying to kill the player, you know? I'm quite generous here. By giving a flower in addition to the mushroom. By the way, there's a 1-up right there. It's supposed to be, you're supposed to get like a little hint by the fact that there's 2 coins around the other block and then 2 coins around an empty space here. It's like, oh, what happens, you know, I jumped at the block and I got something out of it, so what happens if I jump at the empty space and with the 2 coins around it? And then, hey, yeah, you get another thing. You know, in this case, a 1-up. Okay, got hit. That's cool. Alright, so this level is probably the first that I would say that is actually a bit challenging. In fact, this is probably a decently sized difficulty spike, I would say, this level, when it comes to my worlds. And it kind of makes sense for that it would be, right? Because it's a castle level and those are supposed to be... Oh, dead. Those are supposed to be a little harder than the regular levels. Oh god. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Let me just kick that away, because that's gonna come back and bite me in the ass. Which would not be fun. Okay, got it. Yeah, right. Those are just coins, because I want... Actually, I'm not exactly sure why I put coins there. But... I did. But... See, here's... If you couldn't tell, ow. The main theme of this level is... What? Throwing. It's the throwing things. You throw the POW blocks at the beginning, and that will get you... Oh, thank you for the follow, worst player in the world. I'm still not convinced you're real, but thank you. So yeah, you throw the POW blocks at the beginning, and then you've got this section here where you're throwing shells to destroy the blocks, and that was a bad jump. I just don't get why. There's just so much delay on the TV. I'm playing by Streamlabs now, not the TV. So, I'm not really, what am I trying to say here? I'm not dealing with as much delay. There's a little bit still. I think I just need to restart Streamlabs. I'm gonna need to, that would mean stopping the stream. Okay. Actually, I can just go through now. Or I'll just hit the lava bubble and die. Yeah, this is the first level that's kind of difficult. Oh yeah, that's why I put the mushroom there, because the checkpoint is there. I was like, I wanna give them the mushroom. That's one thing I've been trying to do in all my levels, is give a power up after every checkpoint, because while it might be considered quite generous... Yes, good morning. Good morning, friend. I see. While it might be considered a bit generous to give a... Whoop. To give a power-up after every checkpoint. Again, I'm not trying to make these hard levels, but... Oh, that's a hit. Okay, well, definitely have to kill Bowser now. But that's how... Well, technically I don't have to kill Bowser even when I'm small, but... Oh, nice to see you, Robbie. Good to see you. Alright. Oh, damn it. Hold on. Hold on. I probably tested it, but I was trying to figure out if I could slide under that block there. I haven't been too bad. How about you? I just kind of I just recently started streaming, as you probably know. I'm guessing you saw my post on social media, so I'm guessing you've been following, and that's how you know, and how you're here. But yeah, just recently started streaming because I just recently moved. Yeah. I just recently moved, so I now have the internet to stream. So that's I've been doing that lately. Okay, this is fine. Gotcha. That is very cool of you, Robbie. I appreciate that you follow us both. I haven't actually been able to catch one of Natalie's streams. It's just because she's always streaming at times that I'm doing other things, I guess. But I do wanna pop in at some point and say hello, because I haven't talked to her in a bit, aside from on Twitter. Alright, that was the 4th world I made. Oh, she's an early riser then, I guess, your daughter. Because it is... Well, I don't know what time zone you're in right now. I don't know if you're still in the Pacific time zone, but it is at least early here. Alright. And this is the next world. This is World 2 Slopes. It is, as you might have guessed, about slopes. Alright. Alright. It's all about sliding. Okay. Cool. Alright, so you are back in this area-ish. Yeah, I moved slightly out of the area. I'm not gonna say exactly where, because we are on the internet, but you know, anyone can see this. But I am about an hour away from, you know, where we grew up. Don't want to attack him, or don't want to step on him anyway. Yes, these. Okay, so I put a fire flower here just to give a little extra, a little extra protection for the player. Even though these enemies, actually I specifically chose these enemies because they're not weak to fire. Because they don't die to fire. So you can't get around them by shooting them with fire. Instead you have to kill them by sliding, which is the whole point of the level. Alright. And then that shows you that you can break icicles with sliding. And then that's basically the end of the level. If I remember right, I wanted to do a lot more with this level. It's just, I didn't really have the length. I basically used all the space I could and still didn't have enough room, so that's all that level did. I think it still does the job, so it's pretty cool. Alright. Another level about throwing. That's what this one is. Alright. Right. I keep trying to look up at the TV, but it's not gonna work. Whoops. I actually forgot about that mushroom there. Hey, look, it's the POW blocks again that teach you how to throw things. And this scenario here is to teach you how to drop POW blocks. You don't need both the POW blocks here, actually, but you can, but it makes it easier if you do use both. Right, so this, here's where the actual danger is introduced, with these boos here. Again, don't need both POW blocks, but... Dog is barking. Don't know why dog is barking. Ow. Could just be because I left them upstairs and they want to be down here with me, but... Okay, Booze. I need you to calm down. Alright. This is another one. I like, for pretty much all the parts of this level, I tried to make it so you don't need all of the POW blocks if you know what you're doing. But the safe way is to use them all. Okay. And this part teaches you to throw POW blocks up. So basically the whole point of this level is teaching people that they can set POW blocks, or set things down and throw them up, at least in Mario 3. So I should probably elaborate in a later level that you can't do that in everything, because I think Mario 3 is the only one where you can set them down and throw them up. I don't remember exactly. It's been too long since I played this game. But it is definitely a thing in Mario 3. I know that. What? Alright. But, alright. Going down the pipe. The second part of the level. Okay, so this part of the level. So, one thing I tried to keep in mind for all of my levels. Oh boy, I have to grab the POW block, I remember. One thing I tried to keep in mind for all of my levels was the speed running side of things, because I know... Whoops, I effed up. Hold on, gotta go back. The speed running side of things, because I know people will... You know, when they a lot of people in Mario Maker, when they play a level, they want to speed run it. So I try to make my levels as speed runnable as possible, and this level's no exception. And in fact, this one is... When I'm testing my levels, I try to speed run them myself, just to make sure it's possible. Oh god. And this level in particular was probably my favorite to do so, because it feels really good nailing the throws in this level. Like, if I can get this right. There we go. Oh god, they're everywhere! See, if you do it, I didn't do it there, but if you do it just right, you can actually throw the POW block up, hit the on-off switch, and get the top of the goalpost just in time. Okay, and then there's one more level left that I made. And this one, I think it's pretty much done. See, these last three I haven't uploaded yet, just because they haven't been tested much. But I do want to do that. But I just haven't had the chance to test things. Alright, so this starts with... Okay, so you get the mushroom and you're like, oh man, I have a mushroom, and there's no way to lose the mushroom here, just so you know. There's no like hidden block or anything with an enemy in it. So you get the mushroom and you're like, okay, how do I proceed? I actually didn't really, you know, I could probably go back through the levels and explain them a bit better, but because I am trying to get back into the level designing mindset. So this one, you get the mushroom, and you're like, okay, how do I proceed? Because I'm coming at this from a perspective of a new player, because I don't think I've said it yet, but my levels that I'm making, I'm trying to make for basically new players to be able to beat. Because most Mario Maker levels are made to be like, oh, super hard, and you just can't beat them unless you're really good at the game. But I wanted to, because there didn't seem to be a lot of these sorts of levels, I wanted to make levels that, you know, people who weren't as good could beat. So yeah, so there's that part where basically I teach them how to spin jump by making it so they can't progress until they learn to spin jump on the yellow blocks. And you don't have to spin jump there, you can just jump over the piranha plant, but the safer way is to spin jump over it. Here, you see the yellow blocks and you're like, oh, I know what to do here. You just spin jump and you get rid of them, because I taught you that before. Right? So that's pretty solid. Yep, another mushroom. I didn't want to give a fire flower in this level in particular because the piranha plants are kind of an important set piece, and you can kill those with fire flowers, and I didn't want people to be able to kill them. So then, yeah, and the Koopas don't really serve any specific... Actually, they do serve a purpose, because if you do this on a Koopa, it just immediately kills them, as opposed to the regular jump, which just makes it so they can... it ejects them from their shell. Alright, so we've got the yellow blocks here again. It's like, oh, I know what to do. Even a new player is gonna know what to do there, and they jump on it, and they're like, oh, wow, that's weird. It's just a pipe. Nothing's happening here. Until they walk away, and they say, oh, hey, it's a piranha plant. I jumped over a few of those earlier, but now it looks like I can't get any further. But maybe if I use like that thing that I've been using this entire time, I can get up here. And that is possible as well. And you really, I made sure that you can't get up to this ledge without using the piranha plant. So that when you come to this part, you're like, oh man, a bunch of piranha plants. If I just walk through there, I'll probably get hurt or something. So maybe I should do the thing that I've been doing throughout the entire level. And hey, there you go. And then there's another piranha plant that you can use spin jump off of to hit the top of the goalpost. I'm just now remembering all the thought that I put into these levels. So actually, I'm gonna go back, honestly, just for my own sake, and remind myself what I did in the first few levels to, teach the player how to play. Okay, so one run. First level teaches you the most basic ability in the game. Well, firstly, you have this block here, which is like, even if you don't know anything about Mario, you see just this one weird block floating in midair, and if you know how to jump, which you can figure out by pressing 2 of the 4 buttons on the right side of the controller, then you know, okay, well, maybe what happens if I like jump into it, right? And then you jump under it, and coins pop out, and it makes a satisfying sound, and cool. You got coins, that's cool. And then we've got this conveyor here. And so far, you have to know how to walk to get through here. Or to get over here, of course. And so you know how to use the D-pad. But you walk here and you're like, I can't get past this. Maybe if I jump, I can get past it. Like, but these blocks, they're in my way. I can't get past the blocks jumping, and even if you're doing low jumps, doesn't really work. So you have to figure something else out. You're like, okay, well, maybe what happens if I like press some of the other buttons, like these other 2 buttons? Like, oh, I'm moving faster. Oh, I'm moving under. Oh, and I got a thing for doing that. That's pretty cool. Also, worth noting, for the speedrunners out there, you don't even have to touch the conveyor. Let's see if I can do this with the little bit of lag I'm dealing with. Yeah. If you know how to run already, you can just jump from the block over, and that's faster. But a new player doesn't really care about getting through it fast, right? Unless they do blind speedruns, which would be a weird thing for someone who's never played Mario to do. But the point is, they know how to run now. They know how to... Oh, actually, I make sure that they know how to jump here, because you don't have to jump to get to here. But here I make sure they know how to jump because you can't get up here without jumping. And I made sure that it's the minimum height that you need to jump. You don't need to jump any higher than the minimum because I wanted to make them easier to figure out that it works, right? Because if I had made it like 3 or 4 blocks high, this jump, they might jump at it and be like, oh man, I can't get up. I guess jumping isn't the answer. I wanted to make it clear that jumping is the answer, so I made it a super low jump. Okay. And then here they know jumping works, but they're like, oh man, this I can't get over this by jumping. Well, maybe if I try really hard. Hey, look at that. If you hold the button, this teaches them if you hold the button, then you jump higher. And that's pretty cool. Okay, here's an enemy. Oh god, or this thing walking towards me. What's it doing? Oh, I can jump over it. Oh god, it's coming back at me. What do I do? Also, there's the little guy down there that shows you that they bounce off walls. Oh man, I just jumped on it and it disappeared. That's crazy. Right? Like, so even if you've never seen Mario, that's a little tutorial there. And even if you don't jump on it there, it'll go down here and it'll just kind of get stuck here. Oh god, I'm running out of time. But it's fine. Here we have... This is to teach running and jumping, because you can't make this jump without running and jumping. And if you miss the jump, then it just brings you back here. And you have to try, and you get to try again without actually getting hurt or anything. Alright, so these guys... At this point, I have basically taught everything I need to teach the player. So at this point, like, yes, this might teach them that, oh, ow, there are different types of enemies, different types of things that can hurt me. But at this point, it's more about just getting them to run and jump together. And make sure... And yeah, and if you do it right, if you run and jump up this thing just correctly, just like all the endings of Mario 1 levels, if you run and jump up this just right, you can actually hit the top of the flagpole, but I'm not going to because it's actually pretty hard to do, even without this little bit of lag that I'm dealing with. I keep bringing it up, not as an excuse, but just because it's actually kind of bugging me. Okay, so that's World 1 run. That's all the thoughts behind it. I already played it, but yeah, that's the explanation to it. So one slide. In some of my levels, I do kind of assume that you've played the earlier levels, but most of them I try not to, because you can play these levels on their own. Like, this could be someone's first Mario level, even though it's the second one I've made, it could be someone's first Mario level. So, start of this level, you get a mushroom, you can dodge it if you want, but then nothing happens. Then you're over here and you don't have a mushroom, and if you don't have a mushroom, then you can't... Actually, hold on, I can demonstrate better. Okay, so we've got... Oh no, what is this thing? It kind of looks like the brown thing from earlier. Okay, well, I dodged it, that's pretty cool. Oh no, oh, I can't get past this. Normally, like, you might figure out that you could jump to get over a pipe. Actually, you had to figure out to jump because you can't get on top of this pipe without jumping. So you know you can jump, but you're like, oh man, this block, it's blocking me. Imagine that. So, you're like, okay, well, maybe if I let this thing hit me, okay? Now I'm big. Okay, I guess that was a good thing, that thing that just came at me. What happens if it does it again? Oh, nothing. I just, 1,000 pops up above my head. I don't know what that means, but okay. Doesn't seem to hurt me. So now that you're bigger, you try, oh man, wow, I'm big now. I'm big, I'm strong. I can break bricks. That's crazy. What's this? Another thing. So if you're trying, that's another thing I try to do in my levels, is I try to make it so that if you're exploring, you're rewarded. you know, there are hidden blocks and blocks that you wouldn't expect to have things in them, like that one over there. This thing that I just did over here, this coin block, I put here specifically because they know they can jump up to hit blocks and it'll break them. So they, actually this was a question mark block. So they might be curious, like, oh, what happens if I hit this one? And they hit it and a coin pops out. And meanwhile, while they're hitting this thing, I have this going back and forth. You see it on the right here, this little contraption. And it shows them, basically, while they're working on this, and maybe getting multiple coins out of it, they see, just kind of in their periphery, that there's this thing going back and forth. So it's like, okay, and they can see where the limits are. They see that it's following along this track here. And they see coins, which are, again, maybe they don't know that they're good, but if they got coins out of this, then they might assume that. So they might, you know, walk up and be like, oh, whoa, it's bouncing me back. That's weird. I can't get through here. Why can't I get through here? So they have to think of something else. And maybe after some experimenting, they're like, well, maybe if I were like shorter, I guess, maybe. And here's the little devious thing. I had to make them big for this part. I had to make them Super Mario or Super Toad in this case. Because if I didn't, then they could just walk right under this, and it wouldn't be an issue. And this whole level, being called One Slide, it's all about sliding. So you pretty much have to be big for the entire thing to work. The entire level. So they walk into this thing and they're like, oh man, I can't figure out, man, if only I was shorter. Maybe if I like press down. Oh wow, that does a thing. Oh man. Oh okay, wow, if I press down, I get shorter. And then they get here and they're like, wait, what the heck? I can't jump over this pipe. This pipe is too large. Oh man, but well, maybe if I do that whole pressing down thing again, maybe that would work? Bam. And they figure out, hey, you can go down pipes. This shows them the clouds aren't bad guys. And also allows them to be like, oh, hey, I can get coins. And that you can stand on top of these clouds. Or that you can kind of move through them. Because you start inside the cloud, and then you hop up. And it's like, okay, cool. I'm on the cloud. Very cool. So they're like, okay, well, maybe I can move through these clouds as well. However, they can't just rely on the springs to move this time. This time they have to, like, figure out, like, oh, I'm crouching, but I'm not moving. Like, I'm trying to press the move button while I'm crouching, but it's not working. Why is it not working? Well, maybe, So if I just run at it, it's not gonna work. Maybe I should, like, try to, oh man, if I move and then crouch, I slide a little bit. That's the next lesson, is teaching them that they can slide. This is just kind of a fun little thing that can happen. And then this next thing, like, yes, they slid under one block. This next part, you have to build up a little bit of speed to get under. So yes, you know how to slide, and then figuring out this part teaches them, like, you can slide, you can get more distance if you're traveling faster when you slide. And oh man, hey look, I'm on top of that pipe that I couldn't get over earlier. That's pretty cool. And yes, they could walk off the edge here, but then they know how to get back through anyway, so it's not that big a deal. This contraption here is not super elegant. You can walk on top of it. It doesn't. You can't walk past it, though. But this is essentially here to be like... oh yeah, this was meant to teach how to run again. And I couldn't use the same trick from the first level, because you're big now. So the way I thought about it, I don't remember if this was the whole reason, but the way I thought about it is they're big now, so... But if they somehow got hurt... Hey, here's another coin block with stuff that shows you that, hey... Oh, running out of time. That's fine. But there's a coin block here. And that's not the point I was trying to get at. What I was trying to get at was... There is... Oh, man. I lost my train of thought. Right, so if they were small here, is what I'm trying to say is if they were small here, somehow, they could just kind of like low hop through if I were using the same technique I did in the first level, because that was the first thing I tried. But I had to make the entrance 2 blocks high because I needed them to be tall. So I couldn't just make it so I couldn't just make it the same way. And if it's 2 blocks high, then you can, as small Mario, you can like jump, like low hop normally to get through a conveyor like this. And you would be able to get through. If I had it too high. However, like this, even if you're small, you can't really do the whole jumping technique because the springs will bounce you around and bounce you out, basically. Basically, they act like a one-way door, like a one-way thing. Because I didn't want to use the one-way things, because that is another thing I could have done, is I could have just used the one-way thing. I guess I can pause. But I also kind of want the freedom to be able to explain as I'm playing. I didn't want to give them the... I didn't want to use the one-way things that do exist, partly because they didn't exist in Mario 1. And then again, neither did Ice Blocks, but... They didn't exist in Mario 1. And... It seemed too handily, right? Like, the thing I'm trying to get... One of the things I'm trying to accomplish with these levels is to teach them without the player feeling like they're being taught. So... I'm basically... So I don't want to use the things like the one-way things that make the level seem very Mario Maker-y. I wanted it to seem more like an actual Mario level than a Mario Maker level. So that's why this contraption is the way it is. And then we move on to another conveyor. So yeah, that teaches you how to run in this level. Because yes, the first level taught you how to run, but I don't want to assume that they played the first level. So this teaches you, because you can't just walk up and slide here. The solution here is you have to, because I've taught you how to run and I've taught you how to slide, it's not an unreasonable challenge for me to ask you to run and then slide. And it even gives you like a little boost there at the end, which, you know, makes you feel good. And this is actually, can I break the level like this? I can. Actually, maybe I should. I'm kind of thinking I should maybe change this, but then I'd have to re-upload the level. Because you can, I'm pretty sure you can exploit this. So I put a bullet bill here just to be like, to feel like there's some danger, but I was like, oh, you can't actually get through here without getting the mushroom and breaking the blocks. But if the blocks are already broken, then you can come through here as... Oh, right, this contraption. Okay, so you actually can't. You can't break this level in this way, because this happens. If you try to get this block while it's small, then you end up stuck. You just get stuck, and your only way out is to jump and turn off the thing, or turn on the wall again. So yeah, I actually thought it through. I didn't think I had thought it through, just going through the level again, but I did. Because if you're big and you hit that switch, you just can't, or you just don't, you just bounce out, basically. And then you can't hit the switch again, which means that you can't, you can't lock yourself out of here. Basically, you've locked yourself into this part of the level. There is a way, technically a way you could get back through. Actually, no. So, there's this on-off block here. Let me explain this contraption. So this contraption is, as you can see, there's a wall of blocks here, there's an on-off block here, and then there's a block moving up and down. So I wanted there to be hazards in this level, but the problem is, if the hazards just took you down one level, like taking you from big to small, then you wouldn't be, then you could just run through the rest of the level without any issue, without having to do the sliding thing that I'm trying to teach people to do, or test people on. At this point, I know that they know how to slide. I just want to test give them a test for how good they are at it. Like, give them practice, basically. And, have them put it to use. So what this thing does, in fact, let me just demonstrate wholesale messing up. So you know you can hit the blocks, and you know that the on-off blocks turn things on and off. You should be able to see that on the other side of this wall is the line of blue blocks. So if you stop and think it through, and then you think, oh, I probably shouldn't hit it this time. It's not really... Oh. Okay, so that's... But what happens here is if you do slide into there and hit the block by jumping, then you get crushed. And there's almost no way to avoid getting crushed there. Like, I did it the first time, but there's almost no way to do it. So, that's basically how I introduced danger. Also, you'll notice there's a little preview of the moving block down here. So, there's no way to get through here hitting the on-off switch and not... Basically, you have to slide all the way through without jumping. Because if you do slide, I don't really have a way to demonstrate this right now. But if you do slide under something and you get stuck, you can actually jump still to move forward. But I didn't want people doing that here because I wanted, clean slides under here. So, nope, messed it up. There we go, like that. Right, that's what I was looking for, not slide under, jump, jump, jump. Okay, and then this is the actual challenge. This is the last challenge of the level, basically. The last challenge with any sort of danger to it. So, okay. So then the next thing we do is this is just basically a harder version of what we just did. It's like, oh man, now there's 3 blocks and I have to time my slide. Otherwise I'm gonna get stuck and die. Nope. I'm trying to play by the TV again. Oh, see, I got, oh no, I see I didn't get a clean slide, and that means I died. Right? And that's exactly what that was designed to do. Alright, now time to actually do it. Yeah, it's easier if you're just running through it. That's the other thing, is, like I said before, I tried to account for speedrunners and just make it easy for someone who's just speeding through to just be able to, A, read what's going on, and B, if they react as quickly as possible, then they, with good timing, then there's no, weird jank where they get stuck and have to wait or anything. Yeah, if you're just running through this level, you can just slide through there and don't have to worry about the blocks at all because the timing lines up. Alright, and that part I didn't think I would pull off. But that is meant to teach you that you can, like, you can get through that without running, sliding, and then jumping in your slide. But if you do manage it, then you get all the coins. And technically, yes, you can get all the coins without doing it, but you feel like basically it's a hint to be like, yes, you can jump while you're crouching and sliding. That's the idea. Okay. Okay. So that's that level. World 1 Swim. This one does not have that much to it. So you start the level and you figure out, okay, yeah, I can move left and right. Right, the arrow there. The arrow there is actually pretty helpful because it tells people that, oh, maybe I should hit the button on the controller that has the right arrow on it. But that wasn't my choice. That's in every level. What was my choice was this next little hump here. They're like, oh man, I can't get over this hump if they don't know how to jump. If they do know how to jump, they might be like, oh, I can jump. Wait a minute, that's not a normal jump. And if they don't know how to jump, they're like, oh, I can use that to get over this hump. So someone who does know how to jump is like, wait, this isn't a normal jump. Why is my jump so low? And slow and floaty. Which is, you know, that's something. So this part, it's like, oh man, this little jump that I do doesn't work. And even if I hold the button, like, you know, I taught in World 1 Run that you can do. And I don't know if I actually properly taught it in 1-2, but you do need it in 1-2. I don't know that I actually properly taught it. One slide, I should say. But here, like, you're like, oh man, I can't, maybe, well, if I want to go higher, I press the jump button. So what happens if I press the jump button after I press the jump button? Oh, I go higher. So maybe, oh, I made it over. Hey, what do you know? And this block, as simple as it may seem, is just, hey, you got this high. You can even hit blocks underwater, right? That's what that tells you. And the mushrooms move slowly, I guess. And then this is basically just the same as that, but it tells you, like, yes, you can, you're not limited to 2, you can just spam it and go as high as you want. That is the idea. Yeah, and then there's another little hump. I don't know why I put that one there. Actually, I think it was to introduce this guy. So this guy is in a spot. He spawns in a spot where he's probably never gonna hit anyone. But that was intentional. I don't want him to hit the player. I just want to show that, hey, this is a thing that exists, and you might end up running into later. So, here we have a chasm. And they already know, at this point, they pretty much already know how to swim. So this little arc here just shows, like, hey, you can swim over the chasm. And then there's another couple fish that swim by that probably aren't going to kill you unless you're up top for whatever reason. Which you might be, but there's no real reason to be up there. And then you can go over this little thing. And you've got another ring of coins. And see, that's the other thing that the line of coins earlier did, is it showed you, like, hey, this is a safe path. Because if you were to fall down that pit, you would realize the pit is not a safe path, but the coins were. So what I did there is I put the coins there to show a safe path around the Cheep Cheep that's coming. And that kind of implies, like, you should probably try to avoid touching these guys. And I do the same thing here, except with 2 Cheep Cheeps. You know, a lot of the times I'm just taking something I've already done and ramping it up a little bit. Just because that is generally something people can understand. Okay, so here, I believe this should be coins. Yes, okay. So this is here. Because if you're trying to get all the coins, or even just multiple, then you see the guy above you, again, who's in a spot where he's probably not going to hit anyone. You see him up there, and you see that he's just going back and forth. So this tells you, hey, the red-colored ones, or orange, I get they're kind of red-orange-ish. The red-orange-ish ones, they just move back and forth. Right? That's the point of having the little coin block there, so that they can stop for a second, realize, hey, the red-orange Cheep Cheeps just go back and forth. And then we have a chasm with the Cheep Cheeps. You know, we're combining 2 hazards that we did before, which is pretty simple. At this point, the player knows to avoid both of them. Then we go down here. And this room's interesting because basically this room is me acknowledging that water levels kind of suck. So if you go right here, and that's the way, well, actually I'll just tell you, if you go right here, then that basically just leads a straight shot to a straight shot to the end, but you don't get the top of the flagpole. But if you go up, it's a bit more of a challenge, and this is implied by the fact that... So the fact that there's 1 coin here is important, and there's an arrow pointing up that's made of coins, implies, along with Cheep Cheeps up there, implies that this path is harder, but it's also more rewarding. Which is true, as we'll see. Because hey, guess what? There's a 1-up right there, and also just more coins. Man, oh man, look at this. And then you get the bloopers there. Oh, I got hit. There's bloopers here, and winged fish, and bloopers with babies, and basically, this is the path if you're not tired of the water physics yet, and you maybe want a little bit more of a challenge, or a little bit more of a reward. So, and this is the path I actually mess up on occasionally. But the coins are there to show you a safe path for you to get through. And then, see, here's the other thing. So that green pipe is the one that was to the right. And you can see it comes out down low. I'm going to run out of time, but it's fine. There's a 50 coin here that you can see from the bottom path. To show you, if you do take the bottom path, that, oh, hey, maybe I should have taken the other path. And you can go back and do that. Like, let me go ahead and do that right here. Like, I can go in here. And, oh man, I see that 50 coin coming out of the other pipe. I'm like, wait, how do I get there? Maybe I should go back. Because I did see the arrow pointing up earlier. Which is something that Mario games do sometimes. Sometimes they make arrows out of coins. And similar things. So it's not really betraying my design philosophy of trying to make it seem like an actual Mario game. But yeah, we've got that arrow of coins, and it brings you up to this path here that I already did once. We're doing it again because I ran out of time. Because I'm spending a lot of time just explaining my thoughts. And again, if you missed it, I'm mostly just doing that for myself because I am because I'm thinking of getting back into making levels, to put it simply. So I'm trying to remind myself what I did out in my other levels. Okay, so this I think is always a fire flower? Yes. Okay, so this is always a fire flower. And I wanted it to be always a fire flower because if you figure out how to shoot fireballs, then you can kill the Cheep Cheeps, and that's probably pretty satisfying if you are if the Cheep Cheeps annoyed you earlier in the level. And also this allows you to get to the top of the flagpole, and even over it, if you want. So yeah, that is World 1 Swim. Okay. World 1 Swim. Take a sip of water, because I'm doing a whole lot of talking. Okay. One thrower. There's a whole lot to this level. And it's actually potentially the favorite level that I made so far. Okay. So here. There's this block up here. You might think, oh man, what is that? How I can't, there's a wall here. I can't get through the wall. Maybe I try pressing buttons. Oh, I can jump. That's something. Maybe I should put this block lower, actually. Oh, actually, there's nothing on that block. Why is that block there? Also, I spoiled things. Hold on, let me set this back down. I got ahead of myself. Why is this block here? I actually don't remember why I put this block here. Huh. Okay, well, there's a block there. I don't remember why. There's nothing next to it. Also, I was talking about throwing upward in Mario 3, but I'm pretty sure that was a Mario World level I was playing. Awkward. Okay, so anyway, the thing I just did... Actually, we can restart. We can restart the level, just to explain to ourselves. Again, this is mostly for myself. So you see a thing here. It looks different than the wall. It looks different than this brick. I don't remember why this brick is here. But it is. And oh, I think there's a I think there's a thing. Hold on. I'm gonna have to test it. But there's this block here. You're like, oh man, I can jump, but jumping doesn't seem to do anything. What about the other button on the controller? Oh, I'm holding it now. Oh man, I can jump with it. Oh, okay, all right, cool. So yeah, that teaches you that you can pick things up. And then you let go and you throw, and maybe you don't hold the button, maybe you just press it, but which immediately throws it. And I guess that's something... I don't know that I really teach that in this level, that you can hold a thing. No, you do have to hold it to throw it. Okay, to throw it later. Okay. Hey, here's a mushroom for completing the first challenge. And I think if I remember right, if I remember right, if I do this, yeah, there's one of the hidden one-ups. So I kind of mentioned this, but to get more specific about it, I tried to make sure that there were 3 one-ups available in every level. Because if you didn't know, if you're playing endless mode, you can get 3 one-ups per level. And that will actually count towards your life total. So I tried to make sure that there was at least 100 coins in each level, so that you could all get, that you could get in all one run. And 2 hidden one-ups. Alright, so here's one where it's like, oh man, oh yeah, so this is the part, so if you're holding onto a POW block when you come up here, you're like, oh man, there's more of these, I guess I need to do something with the one that I'm holding, and then you just kind of let go, because that's really the only thing you can do with it, if you don't know what you're doing, really. Does this work? No, okay. So, that's that. Right, so this is the same contraption we saw on one slide, where you can't get through here without being big. I don't know why I did that, actually. I'm not sure why I did that here. I guess we'll see. Then you come to this part, and this... Oh, this block here is just so you can get back. Also, teaching this part... Which part is it? So this here... This is teaching people to jump again. And then you jump here. And this teaches them to jump high again. Man, I really did put a lot of thought into these levels, didn't I? Alright. And then this... Coins show you a path that's safe. Also, that's one thing I tried to do. Another thing I tried to do is I tried to make it so you can beat the level, except for the levels where running is required, or is part of the mechanic that I'm trying to teach. Also, this shows you what a Koopa is, what it does. It walks towards you. If you touch it, you get hurt, but it's okay because you have a mushroom. I tried to make it so each of my levels, unless running is required for the mechanic, like in the slide level, can be beaten while walking without ever touching the run button, unless it's you have to pick something up, like in this level. So yeah, basically, I tried to make sure the levels were beatable with as little running as possible. Hey, checkpoint. So here's a neat little secret that I made and didn't remember on my first run through of this level. I'll go into more detail about this specific part, but if you take a Koopa shell and you bring it all the way back here, kick it. Also, that could... Hey, look, there's the other hidden one-up. I'm not 100% sure why I made you get big to go through there. Oh! I think I remember... I don't remember if this is the exact reason, but I think it was because I was like, oh, I want them to be big here. Which also I gave a mushroom slash flower there. I want them to be big here so that they have to practice throwing more. That's what this part is meant to show you, is that you can throw Koopa shells to break things. Because, again, it's one of those things where you can't get through without learning that. It's the only way to get through this part is to hit the thing with the Koopa shell. And this will also teach you that a Koopa shell bouncing back will hurt you. But there's a checkpoint right here, so even if you die, it's not a big deal. Ow. Also, this has coins in it to be like... So that if you hit that top block, it's like, hey, you got the right idea, you just didn't hit the right block. Alright. And then this one, if you just try to kick it, you know, or throw it, then it just goes straight down the hole. And you're like, what the heck? How do I do this? The solution, the only solution, as far as I know, is to pick it up and then jump with it, and that teaches you, hey, yeah, you can jump and throw things. And I think at this point that's all I really have to teach. Oh, so there's this block here that basically introduces the fire bar, because you hit it and you try to grab the mushroom or the flower, and you have enough time to actually see that the fire bar is here and it's spinning, and it's maybe not a good thing. Okay. Also, if you stand here long enough, you saw that fireball that went by. And that was Bowser. Ow. And if you stand here long enough, that happens. And you die. I mean, I was about to run out of time anyway, but you stand there long enough, and you die. You are small here, then you can get through like that. Also, another thing, if you have played the previous level, or the previous levels, you see this little gap, and you're big, and you know, wait a minute, I can slide under that, right? Yes, you can. And if you know how to slide and jump, then you can break it and make it so that it's easier to get through again. So that's pretty neat. And again, you don't have to keep your mushroom to get through here. Oh, actually, I remember why I did the making them big thing. I made them big earlier with that same contraption from the start of one slide. I made them big earlier to teach them that blocks like this can be broken, except for this specific one, which has coins in it. That's what I was trying to teach there, was that you can break blocks like that. So again, this is another introducing the fire bar, being like, yeah, that's a long, scary thing that you probably shouldn't touch. It would be nice if I could get like the fireball to kill an enemy, but then they might think that the fire bar is friendly, and that's not a good idea. This is another amplification of the previous challenge. At this point, I've taught everything I want to teach, so it's more just about challenging the player too. Also, little mini lesson here. Because if you're good enough, you get the fire flower here. But if you hit a Koopa with a fireball, it just dies. You don't get a shell out of it, and you can't proceed. So, while that kind of implies that getting the fire flower is bad, it also shows that, like, even if it's the most convenient way to kill an enemy, it might not be the most convenient way to progress, always. So something I've kind of been implying, haven't said explicitly yet, though, is that my levels are kind of meant to be tutorials for the various mechanics of Mario. Here's another amplification of the challenge, by the way, of throwing Koopa shells at blocks to break them. If you do that successfully, hey, guess what? Another power-up you get to be Fire Flower going into this next area. So going in, you're like, oh man, hit the coin block. Yep. Oh, what is that? Oh no, it's a fireball. If you know how to duck, you can duck it. So that tells you that there's something going on up here. And it's like, oh god, oh. And then if you have the fire flower, then you can just spam the fire flower. But if you don't, like I don't now, you think, oh man, then there's this guy that's trying to kill me, but oh, I know that I can break blocks with the Koopa shells, so maybe I can hurt him with them. That's one thing you learn. And also you see that if you move far enough over here, you see that, oh, there are blocks behind him. And you might not know that the axe is the end of the level, but you at least know, like, oh, I can break those blocks, because that's what I've been doing this whole level. Which is cool. So yeah, you can... At that point, you should know, like the player should know, even the most novice player who got to that point should at least implicitly know, if not explicitly, how to, you know, beat Bowser and move past him. Oh god. This is a little thing that can happen. It's not super pleasant, but it's just kind of a... I don't know. It's not something I'm terribly concerned about. The fact that you can get a shell trapped in there. It's kind of funny to have a player be like, alright, I should have been spamming fireballs there. I'm not sure what I'm doing, actually. Also, I can't do it now, but if you know how to slide and you're big, you can just hit the wall behind him once and then slide under and jump up, which you should know how to do if you know how to slide, because I taught them earlier that they can break blocks with their head. It's actually a good thing I got stunned there, because I definitely hit jump, and if I had jumped there, I would have died. Alright. And this honestly, this boss fight is probably, I said it before, this is probably the first hard part. Like, the first remotely hard part of my world. My super world. Okay, we killed him. Cool. And then you're like, okay, well, we killed the guy who's trying to kill us. and there's these blocks in the way. The screen stops scrolling here, so you know, like, so that should give you a hint that this is probably where we want to go. This is probably the end of the level. And so you hop in, and you're like, oh man, that worked. And it kills the Koopas, and hey, good job. You did it. Very cool. Oh wait, why did I play again? Exit course. Man, my throat's getting actually a little bit hoarse. Because I've been talking so much. I don't know, I'm kind of getting bored of explaining my levels. Maybe we do World 2, like the actual explanation. I explored 2, well, I could just finish it. It's not a big deal. There's only 2 more levels, because I already explained the last one. 2 slopes. Alright. So, hey, look, it shows you a slope right from the start, and if for some reason you're scared of slopes, it shows you that, oh, it's not actually coming to kill you because you can just stand here and watch it. Yeah, okay, seems pretty safe. Moving on. Block. Only real way to interact with it is to jump at it. Cool. Got big. It's very good. Alright, so this... ice. Oh man, I'm sliding. This is basically just to show that, hey, you can slide. Because, specifically, if you try to... You hit the block earlier, or maybe you didn't. But specifically... if you do try to walk here, and you try to jump, or you slide a little bit, like, chances are an average player is not, like a new player, I should say, isn't going to be able to go. Let's see if I can do it. But, basically, to be able to hit the block and then stop on the spot, like that. They're gonna feel the difference between this and this. So that's what that little icy patch is meant to do, is to be like, hey, you kind of slide a little bit when you move, and you come to a stop. This, we've seen this before, teaches you that you can break bricks when you're big. And it also sets you up for this. Because yes, technically, well, this part is only really meant to teach you that you can crouch. So that's the only way to get through here. I'm not sure why this is just a regular block and not a spring. While in the second level it's a spring. I'm not sure what the reasoning was. But it works either way. I think in the first level I just didn't think that I could put a block there, because I'd be like, oh, well, if they slide, or the second level, if they slide and then under it and then hit it, it'll break. But then I could have put an enemy in it. But then again, there weren't really any enemies in that level, so I kind of wanted to... Right, so that's why I did it, because there aren't really any enemies in World 1 Slide. But here, there are enemies in the level, and if you saw... Actually, I'll restart just to show it again. But if you saw, there is an enemy in that block, and it's specifically the enemy that shows up in this level. I think they're just called Spinies. So if I just crouch under, hit it, yep. Oh man, one of those just died. Also, that shows you, if you do that, that shows you, oh hey, those things can die. Because later you might get the fire flower and then try shooting the fire flower at them and they're not, and they don't die. Okay, so this here, this took a lot of designing actually. So this is a 1 block high gap. That's what this is. So you can't get through when you're big unless you crouch. But oh man, I'm crouch. Oh, actually, I don't know that I tested that. Okay. Huh. Well, so what's supposed to happen here is that you're supposed to, like, run down, and even if you crouch at the very end, it'll get you under here. But I didn't realize that you could just kind of jump in from a standstill. Yeah, this is supposed to teach you that you can slide down slopes. That's what this is supposed to teach you, but there is a way around it, I guess, that I didn't realize before. Okay. Oh, somewhere around here I taught how to jump. Let me go back. Ah, here. Yeah, here. You have to jump to get up here, and then again, it's a high jump to get up here. Not the highest jump, but a higher jump than the first one. Higher than the minimum jump height. Yep, slide through here, jump over a pipe. Hey look, checkpoint. Oh man, there's a wall here, solid wall. The screen stops scrolling. What am I supposed to do? Well, maybe if I do that crouch thing. There you go. That crouch thing that got me through before got me through again. It's just, this time it took me down a pipe. Okay, so this is coins. And these coins are here so that you can see that on the right side of the screen, the icicles are dripping. The one icicle is not dripping, the one on the left, but the three on the right are, and that should cue you into something that they're a little bit different. You walk under this one and it's like nothing. But you walk towards this one and they start wiggling. Oh god. Oh, and you walk under one and they start falling. Oh man. Oh god. Hey, look, we just introduced a hazard in a way that was... Speaking of introducing hazards, this guy walks up. And he's just kind of walking along. He's got a spike on his head, so you probably don't want to jump on him. Or touch him, generally. But you jump over, and it's very cool. It's very cool. We've introduced basically introduced the hazards of this stage now. These actually fall when you're not directly under them. In addition to when you're directly under them. So you can just stand here and be like, oh god, oh, I almost got hit there, man. Okay. Okay, alright. Alright, cool. And then, yep, gap. Gap with coins to show you the safe route over the gap. Hey, fire flower for safety. Okay, walking up the hill. Oh no, there's one of these things coming after me. Oh, I better run. You can jump over it, which is fine. Hey, look, another hazard. Okay, oh, another spiky thing. It's coming through that thing that was designed to slide, or you're supposed to have to be able to slide through, but here is where you actually have to slide through it. Because you can't get rid of these things without... You can't kill them without sliding. I guess technically that... I guess earlier, if you saw the one that was hidden in the block, that would imply that you can't do... that you have to crouch to kill them. Which is also true, but not exactly the lesson. Here's a continuous flow of mushrooms to make sure that you can try this part as many times as you like. But yes, this part, only way to get through is to slide. I'm pretty sure. And it brings you right here, which stops them from spawning. So you don't have to worry about them crawling out of the pipe and onto you. Can you... Actually, from this angle, you actually can't get back through here. Didn't even remember that. Yeah, you pretty much... I'm pretty sure you can't get through there without sliding. So at this point, you know how to slide. You know what the icicles do, you know what the spinies do. That 30 coin is... I think there are actually 2 ways to get it. But I try to make it so that there's only one. That's a reward for people who know what they're doing. What you're supposed to do... Let me see if I can do it. What you're supposed to do is that. If you know that you can jump on the icicles, which I didn't ever teach you, but if you already know it, then you know how to get that coin, basically. Or at least you can figure it out. Hey, slippery, slidey things. Icicles falling. Here's another section going uphill with icicles and this, and then you realize, like, oh, you see a hill, you see a slope, and you're like, oh, I should slide down that. But you see the icicles, and you're like, oh, well, maybe I shouldn't. But then you try it, and you're like, yeah, okay, I did it. You also see that it's the first type of icicle and not the ones that fall, so maybe that helps. And then this part is supposed to just be a little cathartic. Because you slide through there, and if you jump at the right time, then you actually get the straight up get the 1-up. Also, there's a little secret path you can take above, just because. Just as a little secret. And that's that level. Okay. Last level. And then I'll probably switch to doing something else, because, like I said, getting a little tired of explaining. Okay. So, this level. First thing you see is some blocks. These things are moving, so you're like, oh, maybe I try to hit them. The first one's got a coin in it, which is harmless, and in fact beneficial, but you might not know it if you're a new player. Then you hit the on-off switch, because that's really the only thing you can do, right? There's a wall here, so you can't. But you see that the red matches the red on the on-off switch, and it says on. So you hit it, it's off. Cool. It's blue and it says off. Okay. There's coins over here. Right. That's one thing I try to do consistently. Hey, there's a reward for figuring out the first puzzle. Quote unquote. One thing I try to do consistently is I try to put any place where the player might get stuck, I try to put coins on the other side of the screen past where they're stuck so that they know, hey, this is the right way to go. Hey, here's the same contraption from World 1-4, or 1 Thrower. And this, you have to teach you how to pick up things and throw things. This, I don't remember why exactly I had a POW block pop out there. Maybe just as extra insurance for people to figure out. I guess one thing it could teach you is if you holding a block and pressing down brings you through the pipe there. So, when you get to this point and you're like, oh man, well, how do I get up here? Well, and you're holding a block, or you drop the block like that, and you've got blocks over here. Like, oh, but how? I got blocks and I've got a ledge that I can't get up. Well, maybe if I hold down and let go, that happens. Of course, you can mess it up, get too close. Oh, look, I dropped the block. That's crazy. I still can't get up, though. You can. You just have to get a little speed. But assuming you don't know how to run, because this level assumes that, you just grab the other one. You're like, oh man, I can stack them. That's cool. Alright. This one is combining the on-off switches with the POW blocks. It's pretty simple. Also, you don't see them until you turn around, but there's a boo there. That, it's 2 boos, actually. Forgot there were 2. That act as, like, actual danger. Hey, there's danger now. Right, here's the part where we actually challenge what you know. And here's the actual challenging part. Because now you see the boos on screen, and you see the 4 blocks, and you're like, oh. And the challenge here is that you have to stack the 4 blocks. Well, technically you only need 2, but stack the blocks without dying to the boos. and in a way that you can get on top of it. Oh god. Yeah, let's bring him over here. Alright, now there's 5 of them. Yeah, if you take too long here, then you just get all the boos. And it just gets harder. Which applies a nice little bit of tension. And hey, checkpoint. You got past the part where you learned how to set down and stack blocks. This part, you're like, oh man, I need to... It's kind of hard to see, but there is a on-off switch there, and if they stand here and look for long enough, a player's eventually going to find that. And I think you can do this. It'd be kind of bad if you can. Okay, no, you can't. Let me try it again just to be sure. I don't... you know what? We're gonna die because I don't think I got a good run at that. Hey, by the way, there's danger. That saw is basically just there to discourage them from trying to hit their head on it. On the on-off switch. Because yes, they haven't learned yet that the saw equals bad, but... Also, I don't really get to retry it because I don't have the... well, I have a shroom now, so I can retry it, but I had to go back to get it. Oops. But it's fine because the pipes respawn these things. Okay. Don't stop. Okay. Okay, so now I'm big again. I want to try this one more time. I know this isn't the solution I intended, but I want to see if it's possible. Okay, I don't think it is. To jump off the power block and hit the on-off switch using iframes. So, you see a thing up there. If you press the up button, you see your character looking up. Well, it does work even when you're not even when you're not holding a thing, which is good. Okay, so you look up, or you're like, oh, I can't figure it out. I can see the blocks here that need to be filled. These blocks let me go back. What do I do? So I can drop it, but that doesn't really help me. Maybe if I hold up when I let go, then it will work. Also, you don't need a block here to get up, but you have it in case you want it. In case you think you need it. Dry bones. These things. I don't think they die to this. Oh no, they do. Okay. So, if you really want to get rid of the dry bones, you can. You don't have to. That is possible. Alright. Yeah. Okay. This part, just a little, it's the same thing, but it's a little bit with a few more hazards. You know, you got the boo, you got the dry bones, you got the one saw there. You got stuff here. And then you've got this block here that kind of lets you assess, like, oh, here's a gap here that I'm gonna have to jump, and some blocks that I'm gonna have to fill in. So you kind of have to put 2 and 2 together, and seeing the on-off switch up there, be like, okay, gonna have to jump and throw upward. There we go. Just like that. I died. Because I forgot the dry bones was there. In the level that I made myself. I'm not sure why Toad faces right. Well, I guess it's kind of default faces right. You kind of face right by default when you're spawning at a checkpoint, because generally expected to go left to right in a Mario level, but at this point, you're trying to go right to left. Right, so these coin blocks give you a chance to assess the situation. You're like, okay, I'm gonna have to jump and throw the block. And then, okay. Did that, got a shroom for it, pretty good. You can see the blocks outside the saw. So you're like, oh, maybe if I jump and throw again, hey, now the saw, I can land on these and the saws won't hurt me. So the blocks can protect me from the saws. Good. Alright. Fire flower. And you can see just on the edge of the screen, blocks falling. So you're like, oh, I might need to catch some of those later. I don't right now because I have one. Ow. You mess up and you go back and you're like, okay, well, I'm going to need to catch a block. So maybe, you know, if I can jump and throw it, maybe I can jump and catch it. Or I could just move close enough there. Either solution works. I don't really care which one they use. This part is kind of hard to do slowly because of all the boos, particularly the winged boos, which are a new thing. But I'm pretty sure I introduced them in a way that's relatively safe. And again, you can see here that even though this isn't a boss level, this is a little harder of a level than the previous ones. Particularly if you're trying to go slow. But if you're new, you kind of have to go slow. You're going to be going slow anyway. And it will help you figure things out. Alright. I already explained to spin. So we're done playing. I think we're done playing Mario Maker for tonight, because I don't really want to do any more of that. Honestly, I feel like I kind of wore myself out doing that. However, because this is not a normal stream night for me, and other reasons, I can basically just stream however long I want right now, so I'm gonna do that. I'm going to switch things over real quick. Gonna switch things over real quick. We're done with Mario Maker for tonight. Oh, okay, OBS is frozen. Cool. We're not done. No, we are. Is my mic not picking anything up? Hold on. No, it's just OBS frozen for right now. Right, hold on. I can... Yeah, no, my mic is doing fine. Yeah, okay. Yeah, starting to think I'm gonna need a better streaming computer. Just starting, you know, considering OBS likes to freeze up while I'm streaming. I'm gonna move some things around. Actually, maybe we go to, I can't even scroll to that screen. Okay, it's fine. I'll fix it in a sec.